One of the biggest challenges of any organization that has more than one SEO is that every SEO has their own opinion. And so I go into a lot of companies and audit the organization because they're having problems. The SEO team, for whatever reason, isn't quite working out. And they're having challenges getting things implemented and frustration with other groups. And a lot of times when I get in, we really talk to other departments about what they perceive as some of the challenges. And the thing I hear consistently is I hear different things from each person on the SEO team, and I don't know who to trust.
Okay.
How do you guys manage this? With 15 people, what are you putting in place for this?
So basically, when we talk SEO in-house, we isolate those SEO conversations. So we isolate it away from the rest of the business. The rest of the business doesn't care about these 15 different opinions. They want to hear one solution. You know, one consensus that as a team, they all agree, no one's upset about different egos, etc. So it's definitely a challenge, and it's not always easy. But again, coming back to my immediate managers, so we sit down as a team, we'll throw out many different solutions, and then we try and almost pick off why a solution may not be feasible. You know, it might be technically it's not feasible, it might be related to content. So, you know, there's always that ideal fix. In an ideal world, that would be great. We're not always living in an ideal world, so there's always compromise. So the biggest thing I'd say is, in-house with your teams, understand the compromise. If you can understand the compromise, you're always going to get to the viable solution. And, you know, it almost becomes there is only one viable solution based on, well, we've got production issues, or it might be time to get that release out on the site. It might be the content resource is not available. It might be actually it doesn't fit into the global priorities. So, yeah, it is tough, but, you know, again, we try to isolate those conversations. And I think once we're clear on what we want to communicate outside to the various departments, what we'll then do, again, is, you know, we might call the various departments in and walk them through a very top level presentation. And what I find is, if you can show them the impact to traffic, that's what resonates. You know, most internal teams, you know, it's like, for example, if I'm working with a content team and I require a specific piece of content written, and they're not quite understanding, they're like, Shahid, why do you need this content? I'd give them an example of great content they've written that drives huge volumes of visits. And then when you join the dots and say, you're responsible for this content, that content has this impact on traffic, that traffic has this impact on the business. And kind of when you break it down, they're like, oh, I want to write more of that content. And the other thing I try to do is recognition. So if someone's done a really great job, irrelevant of what department, I'm not scared. I don't want to take all the credit for everything. I'll speak to my CEO and I'll say, look, this has all come from our content team or our PR team or our development team. They're solely responsible for delivering what sometimes is our vision. So, you know, as much as SEO love to take credit for all SEO traffic, it really is a combined effort.